Hello again, Struck. Diablo 4 Season of Boot has been already ongoing for quite some time, and I've noticed by talking some people that I'm teaming up with and people on my stream that some information regarding the Helltides and its mechanics are still not clear to people. So I'm making this video to clear out how Helltides function in the Season of Blood regarding some of the new changes, some of the new things regarding Helltide, some of the old things that were slightly modified, and in general, some of the things that the game never tells you about, but external tools and external websites do explain those things pretty well. So buckle up. I hope you enjoyed this information and find this video helpful. Enjoyed Struck Club and let's go. First off, I think it's good to start with an overview about the Helltide and in the Season of Blood. In Season 2, what is new, what has changed? So in the Season of Blood, there were some quality of life changes. For example, the visual effect on the map now shows that a Helltide, an active Helltide, now also shows there in the minimap. The minimap has been zoomed out and it displays a wider area, which definitely helps while doing Helltide runs and looking for chests. There are 3 new icons added for Helltide chests on the map. For weapons, for armor, and for jewelry. Unfortunately, this is not enough. Yes, it tells you whether it's weapons, but it doesn't tell you whether it's heavy or light. It tells you it's armor, but it doesn't tell you whether it's boots, gloves, pants, armor, and helmets. It doesn't tell you that. And when jewelry, again, it tells you jewelry, but you still have to go there and check personally whether it is rings or amulets. Another great thing is that silent chests or chests opened with keys from the Obos NPC, from the Obos trader, which is the gambler. From that NPC, you can buy keys for silent chests, and those silent chests can now be found in Helltides, and they also drop Cinders. So remember that if you need Cinders and you see silent chests, always carry a key around. Another good thing is that the experience, another great thing actually, pardon me, great thing is that the rewards for Helltide chests have been increased. On World Tier 3, you are seeing 375% increase. On World Tier 4, 750% increase. On World Tier 4, I can tell you it varies between 300,000 and 900,000-ish, I think, roughly, depending on the type of chest, from the smallest ones and cheapest ones to the biggest ones. One new thing in Season of Blood is that there are new types of chests that decided specifically for a certain purpose. The new additions to the Helltides are a new chest called Tortured Gift of Living Steel, and this is a special type of chest which is not visible in the map, and it costs 300 aberrant cinders to open. Don't worry, 300 aberrant cinders is actually a reasonable number because right now Helltides drop a lot. And you might end up running between 1500 and 1700 in a full Helltide run, depending on how well you farm, whether you do events, whether you don't do events, in which areas you grind. Regardless of that, these chests are not visible in the map, but show up in the minimap when you are nearby them, and they are guarded by a guardian. That guardian is immortal until you click on the chest. You click on the chest and boom, now you have to fight that guardian. Kind of like a slightly stronger elite, slightly stronger than the usual elites in there, but keep in mind the chest also shoots meteors, I should say mortars. It shoots mortars, and during the fight it also shoots those mortars. And the boss has, I think, totems and some other annoying lightning and not so annoying other abilities. It's easy. Once you leveled up, you don't have problems with that NPC. And inside this chest is located a material, very useful material called Living Steel. And Living Steel is a boss summoning material required to summon Grigoire. Grigoire is a Crusader Knight located in a dungeon south of Ketbertu. And once you get into that dungeon, you go through a small short hallway and then a turn, and then you reach a hole from where you can summon him. And you summon him and he fights using a bunch of lightning attack mechanics. He summons pylons which get connected between each other and have lightning beams preventing you to cross those lines. in general, max out your lightning resistance and go at least at level 70. I recommend it to be 70 plus when doing that boss. And since I said, okay, those chests are invisible and don't show up unless you're nearby. So how do you know where to look for them? Here comes my favorite tool since pre-season that I've been using for Helltides, called Helltides.com. Someone in my community told me about it some time ago, and I've been using it ever since. On Helltides.com, in fact, a lot of the information I'm providing you in this video is written there as an FAQ. What you can see in Helltides.com is a boss spawn timer, a Helltide spawn timer, and a Legion event spawn timer. And once the Helltide is active, there will be a short few seconds timer for people to vote. If they feel like it, if they've seen a chest, they can vote, hey, I voted, I saw the chest here, and they can vote for mystery and steel chest. And it will separate what steel chests look like. In this case, they look purple, and mystery chests look white. And it will show you where people have voted for the chest, where the white chest and purple chest locations are. So what you're seeing right now, in fact, as I'm recording, I got Wiki and the Helltide started, and people have voted that here is a living steel chest, here is a mystery chest, and then over here, living mystery. And it also shows you where there's events and the waypoints, etc. All that useful information in one neat tool. And again, FAQ, frequently asked questions about that are underneath it. Make sure to read that if you need to. One of those questions that people might ask is, okay, what is chest reset? What is chest respawn? Why can I open more than 2 chests sometimes, and why can't I open more than 2 chests sometimes? I've been asking this question to myself a lot of times, and the answer is there are at least 2 tortured gifts of living steel chests, and the same goes for mystery. But with mystery, it's a little bit more complicated because in one of the locations there is a third hidden one in the island and in the southeast. But more about that later. So at least 2 tortured gift of living steel chests active simultaneously. Usually, again, one is in the northern and one in the southern part of that specific Helltide area. If the Helltide starts, for example, at let's say 11:45. Then you have the opportunity to get more than 2 because at 12 a.m., 15 minutes later, there will be the beginning of a new hour. And at the beginning of that new hour, the chests will reset. Let's say the Helltide starts at 11:15. That means 45 minutes later, when there's 15 minutes left of the Helltide run, there will be a new hour, and you will have a reset of the chests. Keep in mind that this timer will vary because Helltides are once every 2 hours and 15 minutes. And those 15 minutes is the key thing. Every 2 hours and 15 minutes, there is a Helltide. So sometimes the Helltide would be at the round hour. Sometimes at the round hour plus 15, round hour plus 30, or round hour plus 45 minutes. And thanks to that, sometimes if it's on the round hour, you're fucked. There is only two steel chests and 2 mystery chests. In all the other cases, there will be at least one time where the Helltide will reset. And you will have to be quick before the reset to get those chests you want, and then save up resources for after the reset for the ones you want. Hopefully this is clear. If it's not, ask me in the comment section. I'll try to explain it better if this wasn't enough. As I just mentioned earlier, there's one specific case where there are mystery chests in a certain area, more than just 2. If you go to the very south of the map in Kyrgyzstan, you will see that there's during a Helltide there's a little passageway on the very southeast part of the map, the very southeast beach. There is a little passageway through the water, and over there in that island, if you go all the way to the end of a hill, you will find another mystery chest. So when you get that type of a zone for a Helltide, you can get 3 mystery chests, and if they reset, that means 6 instead of the usual 2, and if it resets, 4. So that's the little difference there, because the living steel is always 2, but the mystery chest, sometimes there's 3 in that one specific case. Many people ask themselves, how do I spend my cinders in a Helltide? And there is no fixed answer because different people have different goals. 99 out of 100 people right now, probably thanks to how season 2 works, will want to spend their cinders on the tortured gift of living steel so they can get living steel so they can get Grigoire. And since the tortured gift of living steel also drops forgotten souls, fiend roses, and elixirs, but no equipment, because the living steel is taking the place of the equipment, and the living steel that you get from those chests is between 3 and 5. My friend got 5. I've gotten no more than 4 so far, but usually I get 3. So yeah, you get living steel, forgotten souls, fiend roses, and elixirs from the tortured gift of living steel. And again, you need the living steel to make Grigoire runs, which is needed to get material for Duriel runs. And that's why most people would want to do that. If you're farming for forgotten souls, and you don't care about living steel and you don't care about items, then you could either go for tortured gift of living steel or for mystery chests. But let's say you don't care about Duriel runs and Grigoire, but you need equipment. Now you have two choices of how you can go on about it. First, do you need tortured souls, forgotten souls? If you need forgotten souls more than equipment, then yes, gift of mystery. You still get some equipment, random 3, 2, 4, 5, 6 legendaries, depending on how lucky you are, plus a decent chunk of forgotten souls. If you want to specifically target a certain type of equipment, let's go, you're after an amulet, that new unique amulet, the Banish Ward, then you obviously would want to target amulet boxes. If you're after the new Thibaut's Will legs, then you would want to target those leg armors. But again, currently the more efficient way to do it is to farm cinders and open tortured gifts of living steel. And once you're done opening gifts of living steel, to start opening mystery chests. Because again, the forgotten souls you get that way alongside with the living steel will be pretty solid. But again, if you have some spare ones at the end, if you've done your gifts, if you've done your mystery chests, then obviously it's not bad to just spend them on target farming something else entirely. I hope this is clear. If you have more questions, again, ask in the comment sections and I will answer. Or come find me while I'm streaming and ask me live.
To get notified when I upload more content like this one or other builds and guides for Wooter and not so Wooter games, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on notifications. As well as keep in mind there's something called memberships on YouTube, which lets you be a paying member for my channel to get access to perks such as emotes and badges made by me, as well as the option to get one-on-one tutoring for the very basics of Adobe Photoshop, Premiere and After Effects. And memberships can be cancelled at any time if you no longer wanna be a member. Thanks for watching all the way until the end, Struck Web. Keep it cool until next time and goodbye.